Stream is now live.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome everyone to this historic day. This is our very first committee meeting done remotely because of the COVID-19. At this time, I'd like to have Kevin Caracoli, City Attorney, say a few words before we open the actual meeting. Kevin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, indeed, it is a historic meeting. This is a first, I believe, in the city of Oswego. This meeting is permitted and authorized under the Governor's Executive Order 202.1, which permits meetings of public bodies to be held remotely by video conference or teleconference.
In this video, I'll show
excluding public in-person participation. And that seems like a harsh couple of words. That's right from the order. That's the provision, however, does require that the public be made aware of the meeting and that the public be able to listen in or see the meeting as it is occurring. Additionally, the meeting must be recorded, which it is being done, and a record of the meeting available, ultimately transferred for public consumption at a later date. This is a meeting of the various committees of the Common Council, again, being held consistent with Governor's Executive Order 202.1 on April 6th, 2002 at approximately 6:30 p.m. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted that stated for the record as we proceed. This is probably going to be the first of, unfortunately, many such meetings. And we'll probably get the hang of it here in the next couple of meetings. But at this point, I will turn it over to you to start the meeting.
All right, thank you, Mr. Caracoli. At this time, I'd like to open the Administrative Services Committee meeting for Monday, April 6th. Please call the roll.
Councillor Corradino.
Here.
Councillor McCready.
Here.
Councillor Hill.
Here.
Councillor Tesorero.
Excused.
And Councillor Burridge.
Here. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the March 16th, 2020 committee meeting. Councillor
Motion.
Councillor McBurdy, Councillor Burridge. Please call the roll.
Councillor Corradino.
Yes.
Councillor McCready. Councillor Hill.
Yes.
Councillor Burridge.
Is there any old business to attend to at this committee? Seeing none, going right to new business, item number 1. The Office of Community Development requests that the mayor be authorized to enter into a renewal agreement with Step One Creative for website maintenance. I believe Mr. Mayor is here to speak on this. Mr. Mayor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. This is just an extension of the current agreement we have with Step One. When we first took office in 2016, revamping the city website was one of the first things we did. We used Step One Creative, a local business here in Oswego. They created the site and then they manage it with maintenance and adding or taking off any documents, information that we want. So this is just an extension of the current contract for another year. The monthly maintenance fee is $500.
Very good. Are there any questions from the council for the mayor? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councillor Hill and Councillor McBurdy?
Councillor Corradino.
Yes.
Councillor McCready.
Yes.
Councillor Hill.
Yes.
Councillor Burridge.
Yes. All right, moving along to item number 2. The City Engineering Office requests that the Common Council approves the revised bid submitted by PAC Incorporated for the general construction of the Oswego City Hall Building Envelope Improvements Project. I believe Mr. Mayor will be speaking on this one as well.
Thank you. So this is the long-awaited City Hall Preservation and Restoration Project. Our City Hall is in dire need of repairs. The repairs will focus on the roof, gutters, windows, a lot of the mason work. If you go to Civic Plaza behind where I sit in the Common Council chamber and you're outside, you can actually see the shift in the mason work. Same with the bell tower. That is really a critical matter that we have to tend to. The building was built back in 1870. I can't tell you how frequently I hear when people come to City Hall, how they feel when they look at City Hall and they compliment the look of our City Hall and how historic it is. So we really have an obligation and responsibility to preserve it. So we went out and tried to get some grant money to preserve it. We did, and we secured a $500,000 grant from New York State to get us started. When we first had the work scoped, all the work that we needed to do, we estimated the project cost would be about $2.7 million. So if you take the $500,000 grant we received, that would leave a city share with the balance. And if you remember back in 2017, we incorporated money for City Hall into our 5-year capital plan. So we have some money set aside in our bond for City Hall to meet our match. So I'm pleased to report that the project went out to bid. The bids came back, as you can see in your packet. This was the only bid, and it came back at the council had previously approved $2.5 million. The bid that was received was $3.8 million, so it was over bid quite a bit. However, we worked with the contractor, PAC Incorporated, PAC Incorporated, and what we did is we took out one portion of the project, and that portion is the elevator shaft, the column. We've seen some movement in the stone and the mason work. However, it's not nearly as critical as some of the other work behind where I sit in the council chamber and the bell tower and so on. So we think that we can put that portion of the project on hold, and we still have some time before that becomes really a catastrophic type situation. And for the sake of moving the core of the project forward, the contractor dropped that portion, and that brings the budget down just right to where we need it to be. So the final total is $2.6 million, and the contractor, if it's approved, would get to work probably the first week of June. And I just want to note, in that $2.6 million is $100,000 of contingent money. Should we need a change order, something like that, it's already built into the bid. So again, I think this is a project that the public certainly supports. I know when I first became mayor, one of the first things the outgoing DPW commissioner told me was City Hall needs to be addressed immediately. So I'm happy to deliver this grant funding and then match it with our local funds like we pledged to do in the capital plan and get this project done. I think it's critical that we move forward right away, secure the bell tower, fix the work, get a new roof on it. Maybe the public probably doesn't realize that when it rains outside, we actually have, it actually rains inside on the 3rd floor of City Hall. So I can't state enough how important it is and how urgent this project is. And I'm proud to move it forward with the council's support. I'll take any questions if you have them.
Are there any questions from any of the council members? I do have not a question, maybe so much as a comment. Looks like starting in June will coincide with the consent decree work that's happening down in the third ward, which is downtown. Does anybody foresee any problems with staging areas for the contractor to set up during this construction season? Mr. Mayor?
So there's two projects going on simultaneously. You'll notice now, currently, the West Side Sewer Separation Project has already started, and they actually started going down Oneida Street. The first pipe that's going to be laid as part of that project, as you can see, is going to be that Oneida Street pipe that starts, I believe, at West 3rd or West 4th, and it's going to actually shoot down Oneida. It's going to go right down a brick street next to City Hall, and then it's going to go down the hill from City Hall down to the Riverwalk, and that's a pipe that's obviously going to dump out at the river. So they're doing that first, so that they can get the heavy construction for that part of the project out of the way, and get out of the way for the City Hall. We actually got quite detailed with the layout for construction, because in the original bid, we built in some extra security measures and protective measures that the contractor would have to do while they're doing the work. We then toured the site with the contractor who bid the project, and we got even more specific. And what we found is we were able to actually take out some of the security measures that brought the cost up. So we see a minimal laydown area on the second side, on the 2nd Street side of City Hall in the lawn between City Hall and 2nd Street. And then another laydown area, Civic Plaza on the 2nd Street side where there's that big open area. And then we've let the contractor know that if they need any extra space, a considerable amount of space, they could use down by the restroom and on the West Lydia Riverwalk behind the Pontiac Hotel. So the inconvenience will be mostly related to the sewer separation project. I don't see the City Hall project really hindering the public. All access to City Hall may be restricted at times. We'll, of course, always have at least one door on the 1st or 2nd Street side available, and the Oneida Street side should always be available.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mayor. Any other councilors have any questions for the mayor at this time? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Councilor Burridge, Councilor Hill.
Counselor
call the roll.
Cordino,
Yes.
Counselor McGrudy,
Yes.
Counselor Hill,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Item number 3, Police Chief Philip D. Cady requests permission for the mayor to enter into a service agreement with Spillman Technologies to provide maintenance services to the city of Oswego's participation in a new countywide records management system. Is there anyone to speak to this one?
Yep, I can speak to this.
All right, Mr. Mayor, the floor is yours.
Oswego County and all the municipalities in Oswego County use the same software and computer system to handle records management, evidence management. They have uniform forms, applications, and documentation that they all use. So it makes sense for the city, being the only municipality that currently doesn't, to get on board and be consistent across the board with the county and all other municipalities in the county. The county actually got a grant some time ago to bring this system online for government and other municipalities who are willing to join. For some reason, we weren't on board on that first go around. Luckily, the county still has some grant money, and they are actually paying for the implementation and to bring us on board. What this resolution does is allows us to enter that contract and makes available $22,000 a year for 10 years for the maintenance of the system. So this is one of the first things Chief Cady talked about when he came on board, is how important it was to get on the same system for consistency and continuity purposes with all other law enforcement agencies drug task force, district attorney, sheriff, and other agencies countywide. So we're lucky to work with the county. They'll pay for implementation and we pay for maintenance.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mayor. Any questions from the council for the mayor? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Councilor McCurdy, Councilor Hill. Please call the
Counselor
roll.
Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor McCurdy.
yes,
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Okay, I believe that was all the items for administrative services. Is there any old or unfinished business that somebody wants to bring up? Seeing none, can I have a motion to adjourn? Councilor Hill and Councilor Burridge.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor McCurdy.
yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee meeting for April 6, 2020 to order. Please call the roll.
Counselor Hill.
Here.
Counselor Burridge. Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Goza.
Here.
Could I have a motion to approve the minutes from our March 16, 2020 meeting? Counselor Walker.
Make a motion.
Counselor-
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yeah.
Counselor Goza.
Yes.
Is there any old business to come before this committee? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business under communication. Item number 1. The Zoning and Planning Office has received a request from Kathleen O'Bodry, owner of a single-family dwelling located at 69 East Mohawk Street, for use of public space to install a new 4-foot-high fence. This is in the 4th Ward. Counselor Walker, do you have any concerns with this request?
Yes, they came to me a few years ago, and they're going to make a bed and breakfast there, and I think that would make a nice area to do that because it's a very, very beautiful big home, and I think that would put some nice area there, you know, put some nice fencing there. Look real nice with the stone wall they have.
Okay, great. Does anyone have any questions on this request? I don't see
So
any.
Chairman, I'm sorry, this is Kevin.
Oh, yep.
These, a couple of items here that contemplate some degree of building or a building permit or issuance. I think it's helpful at this point in time to review the executive orders and some of the governor's guidance on that, if the work is being contemplated in this time frame. There are certain rules. There's the governor's executive orders, and then, of course, the mayor's executive orders with respect to social distancing. There's also some guidance from the state with respect to contractors and work to be done. And if you are a single contractor performing services, believe the state guidance from the Department of State and the Office of Code Enforcement suggests that you're permitted to do that as long as you're a single contractor. Where we get into some issues is with multiple people on a job and on a site. I guess just be cautious that if the council approves these, and I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't, but that there at least be some public awareness of when these types of projects can reasonably be undertaken so that the public is safe, that we maintain the mayor's policies with respect to social distancing and maintaining, the public health initiatives that we're so aware of right now.
Okay, do you think we should put a contingency in the resolution or just have the zoning office work directly with the constituent?
Yeah, I think if the code and zoning folks, it's primarily a code issue, but if the property owner works directly with the code office, should be able to address those issues as they come up. I just want the public to be mindful that, we're trying to maintain the, the social distancing and flatten the spread, flatten the curve and all the rest of it, and just be mindful. I know that there's a lot of folks that want to get moving on projects right now. The weather's getting better, but it's critically important that we maintain these health initiatives that have been laid out by not only the governor, but locally, and reinforced today, by the way, by the governor on the local municipalities to really ensure that they are enforcing these regulations and these orders.
Okay, excellent. All right, are there any other questions or comments on this request? Okay, could I have a motion, please? Counselor Walker, Counselor Gozick.
Counselor Hill,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Item number 2, the Zoning and Planning Office has received a request from Thomas Edwards, owner of multiple properties on Smith Beach Road, for use of public space to install a new 6-foot high fence. Counselor Burridge, do you have any concerns with this request?
Yeah, I spoke to Mr. Edwards, actually. Backyard to make it more private. It's not going to affect any traffic or road whatsoever. It's right away that actually cuts right through his backyard, but he's going to leave that open so it won't be a problem. I'm all for it. Good job.
Great. Any questions or concerns with this request? Obviously, the same concerns over social distancing and the executive orders will be in play with this one too.
Understood.
All right, could I have a motion, please? Counselor Burridge and Counselor Walker.
Counselor Hill,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Item number 3, the Office of Economic Development has received a request from the Oswego YMCA for use of public space for the 32nd annual Reindeer Run to be held on Saturday, December 5th, 2020. This is a recurring event, something that we've approved in the past, assuming that all of the social distancing requirements have subsided at that point. I don't personally have any concerns with this. Do any of the counselors have any issues or questions? No. Could I have a motion, please? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Gozick.
Counselor Hill,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
And item number 4, the Office of Economic Development has received a request for use of public space for the Ritz Kids Crush Cancer 5K Run Walk to be held on Saturday, October 24th, 2020. This is a new event, my understanding, but it follows the same path as the Veterans 5K and the Don Hill Memorial 5K routes. So same planning, same requirements as those events. Are there any questions or concerns on this one? Okay, could I have a motion, please? Counselor Gozick, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Hill,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Counselor Walker, Counselor Burridge.
Counselor Hill,
Yes.
Counselor Burridge,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's all.
That's it. We're done.
Everybody have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.